Hello. Flanking. This involves attacking the enemy from the side or rear to exploit weakness in their formation. Flanking maneuvers aim to surround the enemy, cutting off their escape routes and forcing them into a vulnerable position. Ambush. Ambush tactics involve concealing forces in an advantageous position and then launching a surprise attack on unsuspecting enemy units. Ambushes are effective for inflicting maximum damage on the enemy while minimizing casualties for the ambushing force. Attrition. Attrition tactics focus on wearing down the enemy through prolonged engagement, often by trading casualties in a war of attrition. This tactic aims to deplete the enemy's resources, manpower, and morale over time. Encirclement. Encirclement tactics involve surrounding the enemy on multiple fronts, cutting off their lines of communication and supply, and isolating them from reinforcements. This tactic can lead to the enemy's surrender or annihilation. Hit and run, also known as guerrilla tactics. Hit and run tactics involve engaging the enemy with quick, surprise attacks and then withdrawing before the enemy can respond effectively. This tactic is often used by smaller, mobile forces against larger, more conventional armies. Siege. Siege tactics involve surrounding a fortified enemy position and subjecting it to a prolonged blockade and bombardment to force its surrender. Sieges are often used to capture or neutralize key strategic locations. Pincer movement. In a pincer movement, forces advance simultaneously from two or more directions, converging on the enemy and trapping them in a pincer-like grip. This tactic can be highly effective for encircling and destroying the enemy's forces. Counterattack. Counterattack tactics involve launching a swift and aggressive offensive in response to an enemy attack, often aimed at regaining lost territory or repelling enemy forces. Counterattacks are designed to exploit weaknesses in the enemy's position and regain the initiative. Feigned retreat. Feigned retreat tactics involve luring the enemy into pursuing a seemingly retreating force, only to spring a trap and counterattack once the enemy is committed. This tactic relies on deception and surprise to catch the enemy off guard. Combined arms. Combined arms tactics integrate a lot of branches of the military, such as infantry, armor, artillery, and air support, to achieve synergistic effects on the battlefield. By coordinating different types of forces, combined arms tactics can exploit the strengths of each while minimizing their weaknesses. Shock and awe. This tactic aims to intimidate and demoralize the enemy through the display of overwhelming force and firepower. It involves rapid and intense attacks designed to incapacitate the enemy psychologically and physically. Infiltration. Infiltration tactics involve sending small, specialized units behind enemy lines to disrupt communications, sabotage infrastructure, gather intelligence, or carry out targeted attacks on key enemy assets. Envelopment. Envelopment tactics aim to encircle the enemy by attacking their flanks and rear simultaneously, cutting off their lines of communication and escape routes. Envelopment can lead to the complete destruction or surrender of the surrounded enemy force. Preparation of the battlefield. Before engaging the enemy directly, forces may employ tactics such as reconnaissance, fortification, obstacle emplacement, and establishing defensive positions to maximize their advantage and minimize risks. Psychological operations. PSYOPs involve the use of propaganda, deception, and misinformation to manipulate the enemy's perceptions, undermine their morale, and sow confusion and dissent among their ranks. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to.